Kia ora, good morning.
Morning.
Bob Burnett here.
Dan Saunders.
We're just kicking off another project that we're working on, designer, builder. So this house was inspired by, a couple of things actually. It was inspired by the Big Cottage, which is another project we worked on together.
Yes, there's a lot of similarities too with
Yeah.
upper back section in the house, the old
True.
60s house that has to be demolished from the earthquake.
Yeah, and I mean this house is quite different in a lot of ways, but it's sort of, the client said they liked that house, and that sort of started the ball rolling, and also they said they drew inspiration from Cotswold architecture, which is sort of old stone English homes, well, fully stone actually, most of them. And so yeah, there's been a lot of debate about the roof. We were originally looking at solar tiles, and they look cool and sourced those, but they became a bit too hard to get hold of. Yeah, and so we've just gone back to having normal solar panels and
on a tray roof,
metal roof. Yep. Keep it simple. The KISS principle.
Yes.
Keep it super simple.
The stone's coming from Italy, though, isn't it? The exterior stone.
Yeah. So that'll be
windows the high performance windows coming from Europe.
Yeah. So
same thing. Italy, Europe.
Yep. So we've been doing that for a while now. The European windows, but the lower level is stone, and the upper level is yakisugi, which is Japanese cedar, burnt cedar.
So the finish is going through a wire brush, though, isn't it? I think from memory.
Yep. Yeah. So that's going to look quite nice and have quite a nice sort of timeless look right from the get-go. So yeah, I mean, I guess Canterbury, we've been through the earthquakes. We don't really do full stone houses here, so
just trying to keep the weight down.
Yeah, we've got this nice sort of balance with having the lower level stone, some quite heavily recessed windows, which is interesting too. I think the idea of doing a home which is inspired by other kind of architectural styles is totally valid. You know, I'm not sure about the idea of trying to replicate the past, but this is kind of a sharp sort of modern take on that, and I think you know, if you can achieve something that is timeless, that's a really good thing to aim for too. So I think we did that with the Big Cottage, and this one is going to be similar. It's going to be, when people look at it when it's finished, they might say, I don't know when that was built. You know, it could be new, or it could be built a few years ago. Yeah.
Very similar in that aspect of it. And it's quite similar in its design, because the new one here is going to have a raised floor level as well, so a structural foundation, which means we're going to have a topping slab which will be fully insulated and have our hydronics, so very similar in its layout. Yep.
So it'll be obviously a super home, because that's all we do, and it'll be super resilient, built for the future, and built for longevity and to withstand natural disasters, but also built to be warm and comfortable and energy efficient and all of those good things that make up a super home. The thing I like about this sort of stone look is you get this real sort of solid feel, and I know we talk about recessing windows a lot with super homes, but yeah, this house is going to have heavily recessed windows, and I think the aesthetics of that are actually something that is kind of a little bit overlooked too, because maybe not overlooked, but we think about the thermal efficiency of recessing the windows. That it actually architecturally it looks bloody nice to have
I guess
a deep recess on the windows.
Probably, and another reason for that, I guess, is because they're the European tilt and turns. You'll be able, because they'll be, rather than in the centre of the warm part of the wall, it'll be pushed right to the inside, which means that those windows can actually open right up all the way around. Yeah,
100%, and that's going to be actually heightened in this job here, because what the clients wanted to do is have all of the upper floor windows so they could be cleaned from the inside, so they totally open up. So we've configured the the opening of the windows so that they can all be opened inwards.
Yeah.
It's really good thermally, and it's really good for shading, but it also looks good. And then just in terms of that cleaning aspect for the upper floor, it's really functional. So, you know, it's sort of got all of these benefits. And yeah, the other thing about this particular design is we've done the energy modelling, and I think it's got 0.01% chance of overheating. So
Wow, that's good.
technically, but
so whether it's the case or not,
it's not going to overheat at all.
Yeah.
Because it's got the usual sort of oversized eaves that we're known for, and just really well considered in terms of the shading. Something that is often overlooked, you know, when people are, you know, even people that think they're doing a good thermally efficient home.
They forget about the overheating.
Yeah, it might be great and might be lovely and warm, but it could be too warm in summer.
Yeah, well, I'm just, you know, what is it now? It's only 20 to 10, and the sun's on our face, and that's quite warm. So in the peak of summer, that heat is just going. If the shading is not done correctly, all that heat's just going straight to the inside.
Yeah. Yep. Another thing we've got with this design is we've got a large deck and a louvered roof, so we've got a sunshade outside, which is good. So there's some protection from that, but also somewhere where you can sit outside regardless of what the weather's doing. Yeah.
And they'll be tilt and turn retractables as well, I guess, won't they? So
yeah.
That'll give them the shade when they need it, but also an open sort of feel when they don't want it.
Yeah, best of both worlds. So
Yeah.
if you want the sun to penetrate in further, you just open them and close them down if you want more shading. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of new ideas in this home, and we look forward to future updates and showing you the design.
So with this particular project, well, with all our projects, we're looking at as much prefabrication as we can, so off-site with the walls. So we're currently having it modelled by off-site design to look at all the connections and make sure they all work across the structural and architectural plans. So they're currently under review at the moment, and then we'll push through to how much we can prefabricate. So, of
course, it'll work.
Well,
it's been designed by great architects.
Of course, but there's always little layers that we need to check and stuff like that. So, as with some of the more technical jobs.
Yeah, totally. I think that's the value of just sort of getting a super team together early and talking things through and just circumventing any issues. Just builder, engineer, and in this case, what would you call off-site there? Consultants?
Yeah. So they do the 3D modelling. So they just check, they lay the architectural and the engineering plans and basically draw the house in a 3D version, similar to what you do with your renders and stuff. But then they dig down into the connections where, if there is steel in the project, where they meet, making sure that they hit the studs where they're supposed to and stuff like that. So we iron out any issues.
Would you call that shop drawings?
Yeah, shop drawings basically. Yeah. So just and then they'll get transferred to us for our prefabrication.
Yeah, and it just means everything is thought out thoroughly and goes smoothly through the build phase.
Yeah, so we did the same thing with the Balmoral project. So it helped us pick up some key points where beams happened to be sitting slightly off walls and stuff like that. So it ironed that out at the front end, so we didn't have to worry about it when we're building it. We'd have to sit there and think, how's this going to work now? So,
yeah, that was quite a complicated job. There was a lot of details in that, wasn't
there?
Yeah.
The devil's in the detail.
Yeah.
So same thing here.
God is in the detail.
Yeah. So that'll be that's currently under review at the moment. So that'll be pushing through. So demolition starts on Monday. We'll be pushing through and recycling as much as we can from this job to minimise what's going to landfill. So you'll see some of this. So the windows will end up for sale again, and so it'll be quite good.
Yeah, it's good to recycle what you can. Yeah,
especially with the amount of nice timber that can be in some of these old places. There'll be a lot of remu here, some big beams up in the roof, I imagine, and rafters and stuff. So all that can be recycled. The flooring they'll pull up, it's all remu. It hasn't had much of a attack with the borer. So some of that's in good nick. So where they can, they'll pull that up and run that through their machines and sell it as recycled flooring again. So it'll be good.
Yep. This home is going to have some quite sort of clever interior design too. So we're just finalising a lot of that sort of interior detail.
Some nice shoji doors.
Yeah.
Very exciting.